Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. P Gimme here, and today we are starting the Runaway Teen Challenge. Just a little, uh, I'll give you guys a little bit of a backstory. I'm not going to go into too much detail really, um, just because I was writing out the backstory and I went a little bit carried away. So, the main character, oh, by the way, first before I jump into the backstory or anything like that. The Runaway Teen Challenge has been updated for all the different packs that came out. So if you have city living, your teen can start off in an apartment. They do recommend the needs TLC trait. However, someone was already living there. I didn't feel like evicting them. And I also felt like it was really unrealistic for her to be able to move into a two-bedroom apartment, really. And if I'm being honest, I should have picked this and made it a studio. Should have picked this place and made it a studio. That could have been one whole place, the kitchen. Either way, maybe I'll do that here because this is where she's living. I can make it into a studio apartment. Maybe. Well, it's one bedroom. It's cool. But I gave it the oops, wrong place. I gave her the Gremlins and the Creepy Crawlies, which is basically TLC, just a little bit more breaking stuff. So since she's in there, instead of her having to live outside, instead of a tent or a party bush, she will be sleeping on the blow-up mattress here. Oh, she's that. Oh yeah, I got rid of, like, it was Thanksgiving. I was like, I'm not dealing with that. So she has the blow-up mattress, and then I gave her the cooler, and now let's see, do I cheat her money down? Let's cheat her money down to 0. Okay, so when it comes down to city living for the Teen Runaway Challenge, they can visit any festival. It's good if they bring another child or teen along to blend in. They can collect globes, globes and posters. They can sell them, but they cannot have a table at one of the vendors to sell, because in city living, if you don't already have it, and you don't know what I'm talking about, in city living, if you are someone who wants to sell something, they do have festivals, especially the flea market, and you can sell things at a very cheap price, or you can up the market. You can sell your paintings, you can sell snow globes, you can sell food items that you cooked. Just about anything that you can sell, just about. So they cannot do that until they're young adults. They can order from the food vendors, which are the food trucks, because that's just a normal thing that a teen can do. Oh, excuse me. If they are eating and an adult sits down and talks to them, they can continue the conversation until they are done eating. Once they are done eating, the teen will have to get up, because it would be suspicious if they got up right away. However, for this challenge, as you are a teen runaway, do not talk to adults, as it will draw attention. Do not go to schools, it will draw attention. However, you still want the responsible trait. If you have parenthood, which I do have parenthood, don't want the irresponsible trait. I want the good traits here. I think I'm gonna have her have bad emotional control though. I'm trying to find a way to let's see, shoving, biting, blah blah blah, destroying schoolhouses or school project bosses will make her have uncontrolled emotions, which I think I might do that. I'm not sure. Maybe not fully, but definitely not have it in the green. But I can just go ahead and buy school projects and things like that and do homework still, even if I'm not going to school as a teen, and that'll get her up. Let's see. She can adopt a pet or befriend a stray, make sure she has the money to afford it. They can purchase a wash basin and clothesline for the home. Cannot purchase a washer and dryer until I have an enclosed space. I'm in a apartment, so that's different. Oh, excuse me. Teens cannot have jobs until they're a young adult or they have a kid. They can do after school things, so I can have her in the drama club or in the what is that? The scouting thing, the scouts. They can do that. They don't get paid for it, so it's okay. Let's see. I'm not really gonna care about Strangerville because I'm not doing Strangerville. I don't really care about Get Famous. I'm not doing Get Famous stuff. So the only thing that's really gonna affect us is seasons, cats and dogs, parenthood, and city living. Really, I'm not doing Get Together. Ooh. Excuse me. They can go to retail lots. They should go with other people. They can be an alien. They can visit 6am. They can be a vampire. Can have a restaurant, and this teen can eat there if they have the funds. They can go to spa and shower. They can take a vacation to outdoor retreat and sleep outside. They cannot sleep on the actual lot. So I can have her go to the gym and stuff like that. She just can't talk to adults. No drawing attention to yourself. Let me see, what is this in? Trying to keep her low profile. I guess the Teen Runaway Challenge just basically keeps going until you're a young adult, because you're no longer a teenager. Though I am doing Get Famous. Ooh, excuse me, get sorry. Ooh, it's so hot. If you hear anything in the background, that is my air conditioner going. It's like over 90 degrees out here in California. It's just hot. I hate the heat. But anyway, and I'm not drinking enough water. Excuse me. Okay, got some water. Should be good. I am doing the Realm of Magic Let's Play a part of this, so I'm not going to just end it when she becomes a young adult. I'm just going to continue it. And look how in the needs it has like the magic book from Realm of Magic. I do not know anything about this yet. I got the pack. I didn't know gameplay. So this must be their magic bar. The spark of magic begins to flow and swirl. Practice magic, learn and make new potions on the cauldron, cast spells, and search for tomes to gain experience. Okay, and she has talent points, spellcaster perks, and you can fill it up almost like when you do Good Famous. You have the tree, and these must be perks that you get. These must be the perks you get, and these must be traits or something that you can use. And this is the regular. This is cute. Spellcaster charge, regular. In this range, all magic behaves normal. No additional benefits or dangers. Cool. So everything is good. She does not have a familiar yet. Let's see. Open spell book. I'm not gonna have us really go through this just yet because, oh well, I guess it's basic time to get into the backstory for our character. Give me 1 second, everybody, and here we go. Okay, so this is Nimue. Nimue Osorio. She has her mother's last name. She decided to take her mother's last name. I don't know. I really liked it, personally. It's not really anything in the story about it. I personally liked it. Oh. So she is 14 years old. Nimue was being raised by her grandparents, and she didn't really know anything about her mother. She never met her father either. She lived on Sulani with her grandparents. Her uncle was the chief. So basically, you know, growing up, she noticed that her emotions did, like, sometimes, like, things would happen around her. Sometimes things broke. Sometimes, you know, there would be a flash of light. Like, she never really could explain it, and she didn't really question it, because her grandfather was a merman, and her uncle was a merman, and her aunt is a mermaid. And she's like, okay, you know, maybe it's a mermaid thing. Maybe it passed down to me. You know, my grandmother's not one, and they said my father's not one, but my grandfather is. So, you know, she never questioned it. But at 14, you know, she got really upset. She got in an argument because she wants to go on a school field trip to San Myshuno, which is where we are, guys. San Myshuno. Take a look around. And that's for all the people who have not been to San Myshuno, who do not have city living. These are the vendors. Sometimes we have street performers, yada yada. So, actually, oh, she has no money. Let's have her go for clothes. Let's see, grab a poster. Oh, is there a festival going on right now? Okay. Can she read about the festival that's going on right now? Oh, no, she cannot, I guess. Let's see, is there anything I can search for snow globes in? Because you can search for snow globes if they have like the box for it. I don't see it. Okay. Also, one thing I want to do is lock her door for everybody but household members. I don't like when people just can just walk into your house, especially because vampire attacks still happen. How many posters did she grab? I she already grabbed one from there. Was there another place? Oh, she grabbed one from here. Okay. Is there a festival going on? Normally, on the poster board. Oh, okay. No, there isn't, because if there were. Oh, read about festival. I don't see lights going around the poster. Doesn't normal lights normally go around the poster? Nope, don't talk to adults, sweetie. You're a loner. I gave her the traits. I gave her loner and loves outdoors. Oh, what is this weak bloodline? The Sims parents had no bloodline. Hold on. The Sims parents had no bloodline trait. Sims with a weak bloodline trait gain an additional talent point. At each spellcaster rank spin towards perks, they can also gain spellcaster experience faster. Reduce the chance of overloading by 10%. What do you mean? No bloodline traits. I mean, her mother. Let me see. What? Her mother was a witch. Whatever. Oh yeah, so back to her backstory. She was being raised by her grandparents, and then one night after getting into an argument with her grandmother about wanting to go to the school field trip to San Myshuno, she was really upset. She ran to her room, she screamed into her pillow, and the light shattered above her. And her grandmother must have heard the shatter, and she ran to her room. Nimue was staring up at the light, at the broken, glass on the floor, and up at the fixture where the light was. And her grandmother runs over, grabs her arm, checks her for, just checks her over. She doesn't really say what she's checking her for. And she leaves, and she tells Nimue to, clean up the glass, and that's it. So Nimue cleans up the glass. She's still upset. She's, angry. And so she just goes in her room and lays down in the dark. We're gonna sell these posters. What is this? Okay. I'm gonna destroy this. I'm not destroy that. We're gonna get rid of this. And do your homework so you don't get bad grades. And then later that night, she heard her grandmother and grandfather arguing. She went into their bedroom to figure out. Well, she went to their bedroom to figure out what was going on. She was eavesdropping on their conversation, heard bits and pieces, found out that they were talking about her. And she kind of has a temper already, and she's just like, okay, well, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to find out. So she goes in there, she's like, what are you guys talking about? Why are you talking about me? And her grandmother's like, go back to bed. And she's like, no, you guys are arguing about me. What's going on? And the grandfather reaches into the nightstand, he pulls out a box. He hands it to her, and he's like, here you go. She gets on her knees, she opens the box, and she sees a picture of her uncle and her. And she's looking at it, and there's also a necklace in there and a folded letter. She looks at the picture, and as she looks at it, she realizes that it's not of her uncle and her. It's actually a picture of her mother and her uncle. And she looks just like her mother. Silver hair, the same, build, basically, of what her mother looked like at that age. Basically, everything is the same. Freckles, the beauty mark above her lip, same smile. The only difference is she's tan, because, her father's from Sulani and her mother was not. Her mother is white. Her father is mixed. He is Polynesian. He is Hawaiian and Samoan. And her grandmother is also mixed, African American and white. So she's just all mixed up. But anyway, she and the other difference is, besides looking like a spitting image of her mother, aside from the skin tone, is that she has her father's eyes. And yeah, okay, Harry Potter fans out there, you have your mother's eyes, Harry. We're just gonna throw that out there because I'm just gonna lean into the skid, or no, steer into the skid. Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't always know the sayings, but I knew it was gonna come up the way I said it. Made it seem like that, you're a spitting image of your mother, but you have your father's eyes. All right, but she does. They're bluish green. They are blue on the outer rims and become kind of like they fade into a green closer to the pupils, which is a base game color for The Sims. It is a base game Sims eye color. I love. Actually, I don't have any custom eye color for The Sims, if I'm being honest. I didn't download any. I don't like to customize. But anyway, that's beside the point. That is base. So I was like, let me write that into the story. So the only ones who have it are her and her father, her biological father. And that's how she was like, that's my uncle, because my uncle does not have those eyes. My uncle has gray eyes like my grandfather and black hair. And she was told that her dad has brown hair. So a story of her conception, because it's like, well, why is there a picture of her mom and her uncle and not a mom and her dad? Back when her uncle and her dad and their sister, her aunts, were all in high school, because they're triplets. That did happen in my game, which is why I wrote it in the story. This is from this continuation of my legacy challenge that I'm doing. Well, I was doing. I stopped doing it. I kind of just got over it, and I decided to just continue the family anyway. And she had triplets, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna use one of them later on down the line. Maybe I'll do the teen runaway challenge. I'll use one of their kids. So when her dad, her uncle, and her aunt were 16, they all met this girl named Luna. Her dad met her mom first. His name is Kai. He met Luna first, fell in love instantly. And, it took a while convincing, because he had a reputation as a player. And finally, Luna was like, alright, I'll come to dinner to your house. And he's pumped, he's happy, he's like, okay, this is the address, this is the time, meet me there, I will see you, I can't wait to see you, oh my gosh, my family's gonna love you. She gets there, Kai is upstairs doing his thing, his sister's in the kitchen with the mom, dad's in the kitchen, his brother's in the game room, his brother comes out, he opens the door, Luna sees him, and instantly she's like, oh my gosh, falls in love right then and there. Sadly, it's like Kai is the one that was like trying to date her, and she falls in love with his twin brother. Now Kai and Chemo are twin brothers. However, I guess they're identical, but also not, because Kai has light brown hair, which he inherited from his grandmother. And his eyes, the blue-green, actually is a mix of his grandmother and his grandfather, because his grandfather, African-American male, green eyes, grandmother, Caucasian woman, blue eyes, and grandmother was like reddish auburn hair color, and he got the brown hair. The light brown hair, actually. It's like a reddish light brown. It's really cute. And his brother has his dad's gray eyes, and he has the black hair. He looks literally just like their dad. No, he has blue eyes. Gray eyes? Now I can't remember. No, he has his mother's blue eyes, and he has the black hair from both of them, so he looks more like the mom. Dad's build, obviously, but he has his mom's eyes. And their sister, she has their father's gray eyes, and she has the dark hair as well. So, Luna falls in love with Chemo. Obviously, she's not dating Kai, so she starts talking to Chemo, her and him. They get really close. And then at this time, they're 16. So they get really close, they start dating. Within a few months' time, they're the talk of the town, because Chemo, Kai, and their aunt, and their sister Moana. Yes, Moana. I love Disney, but I actually was looking up names for like Polynesian culture, and I was also discussing them with one of my friends who is Polynesian, and I was looking up meanings, and actually I found the name Kai first, which means from the sea. And then I saw Moana on the list, and that means from the ocean, and I thought that was perfect because they're mermaids. And then Chemo, I think his was more about like a gift from something, or responsible or something, but he's the responsible one. So their father is the chief of the village, and Chemo, being the oldest boy, is, well, not even just the oldest boy. He was the first one to come out. He popped out first. It was like him, then the sister, then the other brother, and he's gonna be the next in line to be chief. He's the heir to running the village. He's in charge. He's the big, big man around town. You're not gonna talk to no adults. Stranger danger. Stranger danger. What time is it? 3 o'clock in the morning. You're bored. Let's see. This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna read this sign so you don't be bored. You're not gonna be bored anymore. She has some money. You can listen in. You can watch the performance. You don't have to talk to her. You can watch her performance. It's raining outside, but it's okay. So I'm trying to make the story like super short for you guys because I went to really long detail. The story's really long, really in depth. I got carried away one night. But Simder. Romance simmers. When using Simder, the hot new app for heated hookups, can Grace find love before her passion burns out? Alright. That's not a sign that we wanna. Anyway, what was it? Oh yeah, she's at Chemo. So gonna be in charge of the village, and Kai will be the second in command. Basically, Chemo doesn't have a. I'm sorry, I saw that vampire running. Completely distracted me. If Chemo doesn't end up producing an heir to take up after him, then Kai will be in charge. Kai doesn't want that. Kai does not embrace the cultures of the island. He grew up as a child and then become a teenager who's just kind of like, I don't want anything that to do with any of that. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I don't want to be stuck on this stupid island. I don't want to be in charge of this island. I don't want to be second command to the chief. I want to get out of here. And Chemo's like, I will, take care of my responsibilities. I'm just going to get her some fruits and vegetables that she can just eat. So she doesn't have to cook, but I'm also going to get chili powder and curry powder. Because it's like, well, we want to, strawberries, pomegranates, plantain. We'll eat those regular without cooking. Okay, I went over my limit. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's get rid of the carrots, just go. And we can get rid of the chili powder for now. She thought she could cook. We can get rid of the. We can get rid of the plantain. I love pomegranates, so we're not gonna get rid of pomegranates. We can get rid of the strawberries. Okay, fine. Let's just do pomegranates, grapes. You know what? I think I'll just get I won't get any of them except for the curry and chili powder. She can cook with later when she finally gets the chance to. And that'll be it. Because she can have free food. And you're gonna go home. Actually, wait. What did she got posters, right? Oh, we got a snow globe. I actually want to keep that poster. That poster's really cute. Okay. Thank you for purchasing. Yeah, she's gonna go home. She's uncomfortable. It's wet. Anyway, sorry it's taking me so long to tell this story. So after they start dating, a couple years go by, and it's the night of Chemo and Kai's 18th birthday party, and they decide. So, they had a party for their birthday, and the night afterwards, Chemo's like, I want you to spend the night, Luna. I love you. This is going to be our first time together. I got permission from my parents. Please, spend the night with me in the guest house. And she says yes. So they make plans for her to come over from the mainland, from where she lives. And, they're going to spend the whole night guest house, spend the next day together. By the way, just so everyone knows, Luna is a witch. That's why, she's, has the occult plumb bob above her head. I just want to get rid of that number. So this is the plumb bob for the occult. If you have an occult sim, they will have this above their head with the thing around the plumb bob instead of just the regular green. And so her mom is a witch. Nobody knows that she's a witch. No one's been to her where she lives. No one's seen her family. Nothing. No one knows anything really about her except, when she comes out. So, Kai overhears what's going on. Kai decides he's gonna, best his brother. He's gonna get with Luna. He's gonna trick her into being with him because, yeah, no, we're just skipping school, bro. Because you know what, he's jealous of his brother. He's been in love with Luna for years. It's like, it's been 2 years. It's like, it's not fair that my brother gets her. I wanted her. She was supposed to be mine, and he got her. I'm his twin. I'm more fun. I'm more loving. Like, I love her. And from afar, he's just been like, I love her so much. So, the night that she gets there, Kimo's at work. He's an island conservationist after his father. His father retired, and now he just kind of scouts the beaches, picks up trash, teaches people about conservation. And so, or his father's retired. Because when they turn 19 is when they're officially gonna be like, hey, you're gonna, oh, the welcome wagon. Haha, psych. Young adult, young adult. Yeah, nah. Bye. We can't talk to you guys. Are you a teenager? Nope, didn't think so. Okay. So he's at work, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna be at work until at least midnight. And the last ferry comes and picks you up at 9:30. After that, there's no more ferries. You'll be stuck. So instead of waiting for me to get off work, just come here early. I'll try to get home as fast as I can. I love you. She gets there. Kai knows that he works late. He knows that Luna's gonna arrive early. So he's waiting in the bedroom in the guest house. Lights are off. And he's kind of like off to the side in the corner, basically. Like he at first started out in the bed, but when he heard her enter the guest house, he kind of moved to the corner. The light was off, and as soon as she walked in the room, before she could reach for the light switch, he kissed her, sir. And she's thinking, oh my gosh, Kimo got off of work early. He's surprising me. He said he was gonna work late, but that didn't happen. So they start making out. They end up getting to the bed. They fall into the bed. They have sex. And about an hour or so later, Kai is falling asleep. Luna was dozing off. Her phone rings. It's in the back by the door. She goes. She answers it real quickly. She doesn't want to, she doesn't want to wake up who she thinks is Kimo. She doesn't want to wake him up. Kimo's on the phone. He's like, hey, I know I said to be there at this time. It's going to be a little bit later than that. I'm so sorry, baby. I love you. I'll try to get there as soon as I can. There was an emergency. And she's like, what are you talking about? You're literally in the bed. Like, what? And he's like, no, she's like, yeah, she's like, you're in the bed. What are you talking about? I see you in the room. And he's like, no, I'm at work. I swear. She's like, is this Kai? Are you playing a prank on me? What's going on? He's like, no, I swear. And he spends at least 10 minutes convincing her that it really is him. And so she's like, what is he talking about? She turns on the light. She sees the brown hair poking out from the top of the covers. And that's when she knew she done messed up big time. So she hangs up the phone. She grabs her stuff. She grabs her clothes. She gets dressed. She just takes off. She's like, I know I can't get home right now, it's too late, but I'm gonna go down to the ferry and I'm just gonna wait, or I'll see if I can leave, I don't know, something. She's distraught, she's crying, she's upset, she doesn't know what to do. She just has sex with her boyfriend's twin brother. And so Kimo gets back to the house. He goes to the guest house, he's expecting Luna to be there. He's a little bit concerned after the phone call. She kind of shrugs it off, he's like, whatever, he tried calling her, she didn't answer. And he's just like, oh, maybe it's a prank, I don't know, because it's late. Oh, excuse me, he has no reason to really be worried yet. So he gets there, the bed is all messed up, no one else is in the house, he smells her perfume, he knows she was there. He's like, what is going on? Hops in his car, and he runs, around the neighborhood. He's like, where is she? He sees some movement off down by the pier. He looks near towards the ferry, near the docks where the ferry normally comes in at. He sees her, and he zooms in over there. He jumps out the car, he runs up to her, and he's just like, hey, what's going on? Why are you crying? Please come back to the house. Why are you out here? It's cold, it's wet, it's dark, it's late, just come back to the house, and she's very inconsolable, she can't speak, she's upset. He's like, please just come back to the house, we'll talk about it later. They get back to the house, they fall asleep, he wakes up in the morning, she's gone. Again. And he freaks out, he looks, doesn't see her stuff, he runs back to the ferry docks again, and he sees a boat that's just about to pull off, and he hops on the boat. He buys a ticket real quick, he hops on the boat, starts looking for her, he doesn't see her on the boat, he doesn't see her anywhere. So he rides the ferry back to Sulani, he's heartbroken, he's crushed, he doesn't know what to do. He gets back to the room, he sees a note on the nightstand, he reads it, and it just says, I'm sorry, I love you. And he just kind of breaks down in tears, he doesn't know what to do, and he's just like, he just knows he's never going to see Luna again. He just knows that she left, he doesn't know why she left, he can't understand it. He doesn't know where she lives, he doesn't know what town she's from, so he has no way of trying to track her down or anything. So the thing he can do is try to move on. So, about 3 years go by. He is an adult now, he's chief, and they live on a very big property where some of the land gets cut off a little bit by some trees, and then there's a clearing behind the trees, and that's where his parents live in a house back there. And his brother has renovated the guest house to be his own smaller house, and that's where he is. He did take on the role as chief advisor because he really had nowhere else to go. He had no way of really actually leaving and traveling the way he wanted to. He was upset. He was hoping maybe to actually win over Luna, and she never came back, and he wanted to travel the world with her, and honestly he just didn't really want to do that after she left. So Kimo hears a knock at the door. He's getting ready for work, and he's thinking it's his mom because she likes to pop over and just kind of, she likes to say that she's just, it's quiet in the house and the mornings are lonely because his dad likes to go for a swim or early in the morning, and she just wants someone to talk to. But he knows is that she can't let go of mothering him, and she's still concerned about him because of Luna leaving. And he's, you know, wondering why she's knocking because he knows she has a key to the door. So he's like, come in, you can come in. And there's still like softly knocking, knock, knock, knock. So he rolls his eyes, goes downstairs, trying to figure out like, oh mom, what are you doing? He goes and he opens the door, he doesn't see anything, and he's about to close the door, he sees a little girl down there, and she looks just like Luna. It's this little girl, little 2-year-old girl, and she has wild curly silver hair, and she looks like her mom, and he knows it's Luna's child, and he's so confused, and then he sees her eyes and they're like this bluish green color, and he starts to get this weird thought in his head. He starts thinking about the night she left, and so he starts looking this girl over, and he sees a note in her hand, and he grabs it. And he takes the little girl into the house, and he sits down on the couch, and he starts reading the note, and he starts getting angry and angrier and angrier and angrier until he gets to the end of the note. And he wants to just rip it up and scream, but he's like, you know what, no. I'm going to confront my brother about this. And he goes, he starts banging on the door to the guest house. His brother opens the door, he throws the letter in his face. His brother grabs it, and he starts reading it, and the letter is just basically Luna saying that this is her daughter and his daughter. That night that they had, she got pregnant, and she stayed away, of course, because she felt guilty for what happened. She felt bad, but that was their daughter, and she didn't want to continue living. She was writing him to let him know that by the time he got the letter, she would have killed herself. Oh, you know what? I will be putting a trigger warning in the beginning of this video. This is me reminding myself. I'm going to put in the title trigger warning for this moment, letting y'all know that it does deal with some depression and heavy stuff like that. So anyway, back to the story. So she ends up killing herself, and she's telling him, this is our daughter, I felt really bad, but you know what, I'm also upset you took away a happy life from me. I was going to move there, I was going to be the chief's wife, I loved your brother, and you tricked me, and you took all that from me, and I can never face him for the shame that I would end up bringing him and bringing the family because of what we did. So I want you to take care of our daughter because you're her only other family, And I hope that by the time she gets there, if the news hasn't already broke yet about what happened, that your family finds out, your village finds out, and you end up going through the same pain I'm going through, because you deserve it because of what you did to me. I just hope our daughter doesn't get the brunt of that. I hope she's loved by your family and that they take her in because she is their family. So he reads the letter, he looks up at his brother. His brother's like, he sees the truth in Kai's eyes. Chemo's pissed. He just rears back his fist, knocks his brother out. Cold, flat on his back. And then Kai comes to. He's in the middle of the street. His stuff is packed up around him. He looks up, his brother standing over him. His brother's like, you're banned from the village. You're not my brother anymore. I can't believe you did this to me. And now she's gone. I would have forgave her for something like this, and I can't anymore. So you're banned. You cannot return here ever again. I never want to see your face. So Kai, he takes his stuff, he leaves. He has to leave Sulani. And Chemo, he goes back inside, he calls his parents up, he tells them what happens, he's crying, telling them, like, you know, what Kai did, that he banished Kai for what he did, and he tells them, look, I can't take care of this girl. I can't. She looks just like the both of them, and looking at her reminds me of the betrayal that he made happen. The fact that he really just betrayed me, my own twin brother. Can you guys take care of her? Can you take in this little girl and raise her? And his mom, her heart aches for her son, so she takes in this little girl and they decide to raise her. And that little girl is Nimue. And here we are, this is Nimue. Her grandfather tells her the story. Basically, he gives her kind of an abridged thing. He's just basically like, hey, your mom was a witch, and your dad fell in love with her, even though she fell in love with your uncle, and your dad tricked her into sleeping with him, and she got pregnant with you, and she's no longer with us anymore, sadly, and your dad was banished from the village, never to be seen again. We don't speak to him, we don't speak of him, and that's what's been going on. That's why some things happen around you. And so Nimue, you know, she's just a lot going on in her mind. She just has to go to sleep, think about it. She tells them good night. She wakes up the next morning, and she's very determined. She's like, you know what, Grandma, Grandpa. She goes to them. She's in the kitchen. She's talking to them. She's like, I want to find my mom. You guys said she's from this place. I know you guys said it's from a place called Glimmerbrook. That's where I want to go. I want to find her. I want to find my family that's out there. Like, I want to figure out what's going on with me. Like, you say I'm a witch. Like, I don't understand. Like, what does that even mean? Like, there's, like, you know, like, I know that there's some type of magical something going on. Like, Grandpa's a mermaid, for all, you know, for crying out loud. Like, I know magic is real, but me, a witch? I never even thought about that. It never crossed my mind. And instantly her grandmother's like, no, you're not leaving. We're not going to lose you two. And also, you're not allowed to go to Glimmerbrook. We don't allow that. If we had known what your mother was, we never would have allowed her in our village. We don't condone that type of magic. You know, mermaids, mermen, that's deep rooted. You know, that's a part of the ocean. That's a part of something. That's not rituals. That's not magic. That's not bringing it to your body. It's not manipulating the earth. That's not, you know, it's not unnatural. What this is unnatural. You're our granddaughter, and we love you, and because we love you, we keep you here, we take care of you. But honestly, we don't even know where Glimmerbrook is. There's no way for us to even help you get there, and we're not letting you go. We forbid you from ever speaking of this ever again, asking about this ever again. You're never gonna do magic. You're not gonna do any of that in our house. Her grandfather is pissed. He's like, no, don't you ever, like, bring that up again. Don't speak of this to nobody. Don't speak of this to your uncle, your aunt, nobody. Like, they know, but this is a bad tale. We only told you so you would know what happened and where you come from. She's like, no, I want to go see my mom. I have a right to know. They're like, that's enough. Go to your room. Get ready for school. That's it. So Nimue gets ready. She goes to school. Some time goes by, like a week later, the school field trip comes up. She doesn't have permission to go to the school field trip, but all students still have to report to the school. So she goes to the school. Sitting in class, she came up with a plan. She's like, you know, I'm going to sneak on the bus. I'm going to leave. So the night before, she had packed a bag and she hid it in the locker rooms of the school gym. And she goes to the gym, she grabs her bag, and she sneaks onto the bus when the teacher's not looking. and they ride to the ferry. She gets on the ferry, and then when the ferry docks on the other side, just on the outskirts of San Myshuno, she runs in and she buys a ticket for herself and she waits out. The bus leading to the city with all her classmates on it goes, it leaves, another bus pulls in, she gets on that bus. She takes one last look at Sulani at the island, and she just knows like she's not gonna be able to go back if she goes on this journey. If she really truly does this, she's never gonna be able to come back, and she just has to get on the bus anyway. San Myshuno, and to look for Glimmer Book and find out more about her mother. And that is where we are here with the Teen Runaway Challenge, or the Runaway Teen Challenge, however it's say. So, she has an apartment, sort of. She had some cash laying around. She saved up some money from birthdays, Christmas, everything over the years. And she was able to save up and get this rundown, dinky little apartment, rinky dink. Okay, that it came with no appliances. It has a sink. You got a sink, a shower, and a toilet. She bought herself an air mattress. She got a cooler for some food, a trash can. That's all she bought. She's gonna have to save up and buy a stove and a fridge and a microwave and tables and chairs, all that stuff. And all the while, she's going to be trying to figure out about Glimmerbrook. And she's gonna try to find a way to get there, get to Glimmerbrook, find out about her mother, find out what's going on. So I know this wasn't a lot of gameplay, guys. First episode, I just wanted to introduce you to the story. There was a lot of ums. I didn't decide to read off the paperwork because I knew if I read off my notes the actual story, I would be tripping over my words a lot because my mind sometimes goes faster than my mouth does, and I end up tripping over my words. I stutter a lot. I didn't want to do that, so I decided to just tell the story from the memory that I know, and I was able to get everything out. I went into a little bit more detail than I had planned, but I don't know, I really loved my story. So anyway, just looking around. This is going to be the first episode of our Realm of Magic and the Runaway Teen Challenge. I hope you guys liked the background story for Nimue. Her name is spelled Nimue, and her last name is Osorio. Her name is Wiccan. I don't know the racial backgrounds, but I'm not sure if it's Celtic or Greece or what. I will get that information. If anybody wants to know, I will put it in the comments. I'll put it in the description below. But anyway, thank you guys for watching the first episode of this. I will be filming the second episode later, and maybe I can try to film them. Not film them, but upload them back to back so you guys can get some actual gameplay in too, and not just the introduction. But until then, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have a blessed day or night. And, yeah, that's it. Alright, bye!